Unfortunately, we are not done with subjunctive yet. There is also past subjunctive. Past subjunctive is used when the first verb is imperfect or preterite. Then you need to use the past subjunctive. So if you remember, subjunctive is dependent upon the indicative, upon that first verb, upon the indicative verb. So if it's dependent on the first verb, what the first verb does is going to influence what the subjunctive does. So if the first verb is in the past, the subjunctive also needs to be in the past. To form the past subjunctive is really easy. You put it in the third person plural form of the preterite. Then you take off the RON, and then you add the ending, the endings that I'm going to type below. The good thing about this is there are no irregulars. Even if you're talking about the verb ir that is irregular in every case you can find is not irregular in the past subjunctive, because the third person plural preterite form of ir, fueron, you take off the RN, you have F-U-E-R, and then you can add the ending, fuera, and that is a past subjunctive verb. So even ir conforms to these rules. The ending of these, a, as, a, amos, ais, an. Whenever you do add, for example, if you're going to add for the nosotros form for cantar, the third person plural preterite would be cantaron. You take off the R-O-N. Okay, I realized my mistake. You don't take off the R-O-N, you just take off the O-N. So what I did here is correct. Fueron, take off the O-N, and then you add the ending. Now, when this happens with, for example, the verb cantar, and then you add amos, cantaramos, then this one is going to need an accent. The stress still falls there, so you do have to put an accent to say that. Another example, for example, ellos vivieron. You take off the O-N, and you can add the A-N ending, ellos vivieran. So it is important that you do put it in the third person plural form of the preterite. That is going to get any irregularities, and it's also going to get that IE that is needed for these examples. So what would sentences look like in the past subjunctive? For example, you could say, yo de niño, as a child, yo dudaba que Santa existiera. So, as a child, I doubted, so that's in the imperfect, so the next thing I say is going to have to be subjunctive. It's subjunctive because there's two subjects, there's two verbs, there's a clause, and that verb is expressing doubt. All of those things mean the next verb's going to have to be subjunctive. Now, this is in the imperfect. So since this is imperfect, the verb itself, the subjunctive verb, needs to be in the past as well. So the verb that I used was existir. You put it in the third person plural preterite form, existieron. Take off the O-N, and then you add the third person singular ending, existiera. So as a child, I doubted Santa existed. That is an example of a sentence that would need the past subjunctive. So when you need the subjunctive and your main verb, your indicative verb, is in the past, your subjunctive verb has to be in the past as well.